Stop.
Oh God, always, always. It's just
Welcome to All of a Sudden number 67, brought to you by Anchor.fm. If you guys want to start your podcast journey, do it now with Anchor.fm. We'll hear more about that later. As you can see, our guests kind of had busy lives this week. So today it's just me and our trusty cohort, Julian.
hell yeah.
I guess when I asked this question,
Ready to get dirty into it, or what? What were you gonna say?
I said, I guess if I ask this question, it won't be as awkward as it usually is. How you doing today?
Not too bad. Yeah, usually it's awkward because it's like, okay, you go first. That me, you. No, pretty good. I mean, obviously, it is still a little bit of a weird question because obviously we were hanging out recently, but despite the fact of like everything from the previous day, like pretty good. Had a good day. We went shopping with the misses and whatnot.
Mrs.
Not
Yeah.
misses.
I didn't know if you wanted to bring it up, but I kind of wanted to just give a special shout out to Julian, who finally made it Facebook official and announced that me and him are dating. So everyone,
I'm no longer single and ready to mingle. I am now off the plate, and sure enough, that's when all the other El Paso women decide to like, hey, what? You have a significant other now? But no, nonetheless, man, it's good. It's nice to, I guess, be off the market now.
Yeah. Well, best wishes to you and the missus. That's really good. I'm really happy for you guys.
Yeah, it was nice. It was cool hanging. Like it really wasn't anything. We were just like shopping for like home decor, but it was pretty nice. Like seeing like, oh, let's spruce this place up a bit. But nonetheless, so obviously I'm wearing my jersey, and Joe's got his UTEP bandana on. So we're here to talk a little bit about sports.
So get
Sports
this,
team.
guys. Regardless of the fact that COVID is still a thing, the football season is starting up this Sunday. College has already started, and UTEP actually won their first game, which is pretty surprising. Usually they're not very good, but hey, shout out to us Miners. And the NFL season starts on Sunday. So, Julian, how excited are you?
Honestly, there's actually some hype. I'm not gonna lie about it. It's good to finally have something to watch, if that makes sense. I mean, I know there's all of Netflix. I know Mulan just came out. I know Tenet, after all these months, finally got released. But it's good that there's at least some sense of normalcy coming back. Obviously, we got to try out a bar the other day. You didn't get a chance to make it. They're doing that whole like, we serve food, so now we're a restaurant.
Or a bar. Yeah, I
Yeah,
saw that.
but
they did
it's
that
still
at one of our local strip clubs, kind of by my house. They just put a food cart out front, and they opened up for business now.
that's not, I guess, too bad. I mean, it is a little taxing
Cheeky,
of a situation, huh?
a little cheeky, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. Obviously, we should take the pandemic seriously. It is still a serious issue. I mean, we're learning a lot more about it. We know a hell of a lot more about it than we did 6 months ago. But obviously, some people need to get back to work. It's been 6 months, and with this whole will they, won't they, with the COVID checks, it's like, hey, you know what? I gotta eat. I gotta, I'm pretty sure you and I, early on, we kind of had like some differences as to the reopening, but right now, where it's already been like 6 months and people have never had or still haven't had a regular paycheck, I'm sure you like would be more open to them being cheeky about it. It's more, I guess, about whether you or I like want to make that risk. Obviously, we have loved ones that we care about, but it's up to us to wear the mask, to look out for your other
take all
man.
the proper precautions and stuff like that. But I mean, regardless of that, football is coming, and they have announced that they're not pretty much all the stadiums, I believe, are supposed to be empty arenas for at least a month. I guess just till they figure out what to do. We're kind of seeing that with the NBA right now. They created a bubble where they have their playoff games and stuff like that, and they have virtual fans. Um, WWE just started incorporating this as well, so they have a bunch of virtual fans. Also, it's just a big LED board, and then
And how much does McMahon charge for you to be on there?
I think it's free, but it's kind of
Yeah.
backfired on him a few times because they've shown KKK members, they've
Oh my God.
shown a controversial wrestler, Chris Benoit. They've shown
Oh,
other wrestling promotions, wrestlers,
like
and
what is it? NCW or no? Who's that
AEW.
other? AEW. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's been a mess for them at least. As far as I know, there's been no real big issues with NBA's virtual boards. I guess in terms of football, though, I think it's going to be a little weird to have these big games without big arenas too, because I mean, NFL stadiums are massive, and for them to be empty, it's going to be a little bit weird.
Do you think they're gonna use like the sound effects like they've been doing
Oh,
in
they
baseball?
gotta, they have to.
Yeah, just to make it a
They-
lot more hype.
yeah,
Uh, I mean, it definitely makes sense. I kind of hope they don't go the route as basketball did. I don't think they can. I don't think they have the money to do virtual screens throughout like several different NFL
32 different
stadiums.
arenas. Yeah,
Yeah, but I don't know. I really hope they stay away from that because it's always weird. Obviously, like you said, it didn't work out well for the WWE, but even that one time that we were watching the Trailblazers get their butts whipped by the Lakers, um, yeah, it was just weird. Like especially when you have like those old dudes that are just like this and their freaking face is like giant on the screen. So I don't know. It's
yeah.
just it's a weird time, but I'm glad that we're at least doing something.
We're starting to do some kind of striving towards normalcy, at least in the old familiar tense. Not our new normalcy is a little bit askew, but I'm just looking for. Me and you are Packers fans, Green Bay
Yeah.
till we die. But our offseason was a little weird as far as the players we picked up during the draft. So
Oh yeah, that draft was really dumb.
I'm excited to see football again, and I'm hoping our Packers can get back to that championship game and hopefully take it to the Super Bowl this year.
I was actually having yeah, I hope we at least get further in the playoffs than we did last year. I was surprised how far we honestly made it last year, given the fact that
Yeah, ultimately we
we had
shouldn't have. I mean, we had a
we
fresh
had
coach,
so much.
we
Yeah.
had fresh players, and man, to make it to the championship game, that's huge.
And
So
that really goes to show just how great Aaron Rodgers is. Like honestly, he's very underutilized, and it just sucks that they
I
just
mean, he's
can't.
not as great as the goat, Patrick Mahomes. Shout out Jacob.
Okay, whatever. I mean, I still will say that Aaron Rodgers is like one of the best. He's definitely uh become a household name.
Speaking of Jacob, that scumbag, as we mentioned, he is the commissioner for our fantasy league, and
Oof.
we've pretty much all admitted that he's rigged the system. And unfortunately, he's not here to defend himself. So I guess the word is law,
I guess
and
that's just it. Yeah.
that's just the way it is. He's a scumbag, and I'm practically just giving him free money, I guess.
He's just like, hey, everybody, give me $20, and that's pretty
Yeah,
much what it
that's
was.
that's the game.
It was funny overhearing you guys talking at dinner about how like he was just he got what, the first round pick, the
Yeah,
third round pick, and the fourth round pick.
he got the first round pick, the last pick in the second round, and the first pick in the third round. So he got
Oh,
ultimately like three straight picks. And
see,
with
and
those
and
three
and
straight picks,
it
he picks some high level players.
yeah, see, and that's not right. I mean, being a commissioner, you should have been at least the last one in the first round, and then from there you can kind of play around with it.
Yeah.
It is a little telling of seeing how lucky he got to get those positions.
Yeah. Suck it, Jacob. Nintendo had this really cool announcements regarding Super Mario's 35th anniversary. So they had the little Super Mario Direct, and they had a bunch of goodies to announce. Things including a Game and Watch the old handheld system. They're bringing it back to let you play
That's cool.
old Mario, the original Mario game. They're bringing this really cool an RC car. It's gonna be a Mario Kart that's gonna tie into the actual Switch. So
What?
you're gonna make yourself. I guess you can call it an AR track. So you make the track on the Switch and then use the cart to actually drive around your made up
That's
cart
that's kind of cool. I
or
mean,
track.
how big is the cart? Like maybe the size of like a Hot Wheel or something, or is it
No, it's
you know
bigger.
pretty?
It's actually a sizable freaking thing. Like maybe like bigger than a PlayStation
The P
controller.
Yeah,
So
that's
that's really cool. I
see,
think my
that's very
nephew is gonna love
interesting.
something like that.
See, that's one thing I can really commend Nintendo for is they're always doing something creative. They're always doing something different, especially in terms of hardware. Obviously, like with juggernauts like PlayStation and Xbox, their their benefit is obviously more hardware. They have like a lot better of the graphics, a lot
Yeah,
better, games and stuff like that. I mean,
yeah.
arguably a lot better games. People can go back and
They
forth
have
whether
like cinematic masterpieces that they pretty much bring out, and they have faster speeds and just like you said, higher resolutions. But Nintendo has the nostalgic factor, and they
Mhm.
have their creativities. So to do something like this, where you get to drive an RC car into like a virtual Mario
Mario.
track, is pretty cool.
And it's cool because like you're playing with your friends, you'll actually witness like cars bumping into each
Yeah,
other
so
and
like the way
like
they showed it, they had a Mario and a Luigi, and it was like two, I guess like a brother and sister sitting on the couch playing, and you would see them, driving around their living room, and whenever Mario would throw a shell at Luigi, his car would just stop, and then so you would just see
that's
Mario just
cool.
drive on past them. There a couple of other things that they announced. They're getting into the BR market with Mario. It's called Mario 35, and basically what you
What?
do here is how many people? I believe it's only 35 other players. So you all play the original Super Mario Bros. Game, and it's pretty much just speed running. So you have to speed run through the Mario game, and whenever you beat an enemy, you send that enemy over to someone else's screen. So that's how you knock out other players, by sending
What?
enemies their way. And last man standing takes the win.
It's almost like they're kind of borrowing a little bit from two games. The Tetris 99
Hmm.
and the one that were Fall Guys. I don't know why I wanted to say only Fall or something. I was like, no, that's
It's not so much Fall Guys, but it definitely is a huge. I guess Tetris 99 was a huge inspiration on it. So that's
yeah,
pretty much
because
the
the fact
same
that
style
you're
that they're going with.
yeah.
Where
Eh,
it's your screen that affects everyone else's screen.
Yeah, and that's actually pretty cool. That sounds like a lot of fun.
And
Um,
their ultimate unveiling is something I'm super excited for, because I've mentioned before, Super Mario 64 is probably one of my all-time favorite games, and if I had the opportunity to experience that game all over again, I would love to.
I think
Uh,
you and like almost every Nintendo Super Mario fan has been like waiting for this announcement.
yeah, it kind of leaked earlier in the year that these were going to come back, but they announced that in one trilogy game, they're releasing Super Mario 64, Super Mario Sunshine, and Super Mario Galaxy. And what amazes me is they're dropping a $60 price tag on it. You're getting three
Oof.
huge games for only $60. I mean, this is like easily Nintendo could be able to sell this for a whole lot more.
I mean, true, but at the same time, they could sell it for a little less. I mean, it is a little remastered, right? Like, I mean, obviously with Super Mario, there's only so much you can remaster because they're already kind of
Yeah,
their
they
own
switched up
shapes.
the aspect ratios. I believe they touched up the pixels a bit, so
Yeah,
it
so they're
is
not as
gonna
blocky.
yeah, so it is gonna look better. It's not gonna be like a full HD remake, like a overhaul,
Hmm.
but it should look better than what you would expect on the GameCube and the 64.
That's not too bad. I mean, it is cool because it's almost like $20 a game. It's interesting. It's great. It's great to hear. So my question for you, Joe, is how long is it going to be until you throw that little penguin off the edge?
Almost immediately. First thing I do,
Is it you're just going to get right in there, boot the game up, and just like yeet
yeet that
his
penguin,
ass?
yeet that sucker off.
Do you think they might have patched that off? Do you think
No,
they'll actually no? You think
no.
they'll actually allow people to
Oh
still
yeah,
throw the penguin?
yeah, 100%. It was
I
in
don't
there.
know.
It's in there for a reason. I think they knew what they were doing. They knew people were sadistic and wanted to kill a baby penguin in front of their
Or
mom.
wanted to see that they could do that. Not just the fact whether it was morally right or not. It was whether the fact that they could do it in general. And I guess kind of borrowing off of that, one of my favorite games. I know I mentioned it a while back when we had Booker on. I know that's not his real name.
Mhm.
Angel on, and one of my favorite games has been the Tony Hawk series, and I actually got a chance to mess around with it because my sister bought it about a week before she left, and it was great. Like I don't know what it was between Tony Hawk 5 and 1 and 2 now coming out, but the controls felt right. Like she was amazed because her and her friends were trying to figure out how to do like lip grabs and everything. And I was just doing it like old school. I don't know why.
It was
It was
just
kind
like
of like
you
finger memory or whatever.
never
It was
forget
just
how to ride a bike. You never
yeah.
forget to.
I mean, obviously, like I still stumbled on a few things. There's actually a really cool story I heard recently about that game. There's this one move that a lot of even like skateboarding people have called it's been called the mute grab or something like that, and that's because long ago the skateboarder that did the trick, he was a deaf he was a deaf person, and for some reason like in the past 30 years they just kept it like that. Well, Tony Hawk, he being the good guy that he is, he was like, hey, you know what, I think now that we're kind of redoing this, now that we're kind of revisiting a lot of social issues and stuff like that, maybe it's really not cool that we're calling it this. So he reached out to the guy who I believe his name is Weddle or something like that,
Mhm.
and he asked them like, hey, you know what? You're the guy that made this, a thing. I'm gonna give you, the option to, correct the history books, rewrite an old
Call it what you
wrong.
want to call it.
Yeah, exactly. And he gave Tony Hawk, two options. He called it the death grab because he's not mute, he's deaf,
Yeah,
and for some reason I don't know how that happened, but yeah. Or to name it after him, and Tony Hawk, did the honorable thing and
and
named it
named it
after
after
him.
him. That's
So
cool.
now it's called the Weddle grab, and it's pretty cool.
Ultimate first impression. What would you rank the game?
I really loved it. I mean, I only got to play like the college level, which is a classic, and I don't know, I couldn't put it down. My sister said she only invited me over to kind of like just mess around with it, but I was not giving it back to her. And a lot of the music is really good too. It's great, and overall, I loved it. I 5 out of 5 for me,
Wow.
especially because you get one and two,
Yeah.
and you get all the OGs, Muska, Mullen, Tony Hawk in general. It's great. I had a lot of fun. I don't know.
All right. So with that, guys, we're gonna go ahead and throw it to a quick commercial break. Hopefully our guest should come in. If not, then we'll reschedule. But we'll be back with more all of a sudden coming right after this. Welcome back to all of a sudden number 67. We brought our double duty special guest. You just hopped off the We Boost podcast, did you?
Oh, we had a hell of a time, dude. It was all about like food and food and anime.
Yeah,
We were, yeah, but best believe me, like right now I'm hungry. I
we
am
had,
very hungry.
we had tuned in for like a little bit right before we started recording, and it was pretty good. I believe right before the show, I was talking to Jeremy about my favorite one, which was umami. I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's called like umami rice or something like that. It's basically like a little rice ball, and then you put like a poached egg on top, and you just slice it down the middle and just like unwraps, and it just looks so like good.
Okay. So right before you jumped on with us, Jeremy, we were talking about football coming back on Sunday. You as a diehard Patriots fan, how are you feeling?
Man, the way that I feel about football coming back, like I love it. It's like the sense of sort of like normality of like the way that the years are supposed to be. Like that's how you know the seasons are changing, you know.
Yeah.
But I saw like how basketball's come back, and I saw like wrestling itself too, like just how that goes. And it just seems like such a different environment because like
Yeah.
everybody's trying to like live in this post-COVID world.
And it's not
That
really carrying that same kind of hype behind it. I mean,
yeah,
you're really having
like
to make artificial fans to give it some kind of like you said, normality.
like everybody's struggling to be normal now, and it's like for better or for worse, I feel like it's kind of screwing us up a little bit more. Like it's taking more chinks out of the armor because it's like, man, remember when you could be in a stadium and you can like
Yeah.
cheer and shout and really feel this way as opposed to like just looking at a jumbotron of an amalgamation of fans just like wishing that they could be there.
Yeah.
Like, nah, dude, it's not the same, dude. How to me, I think how do the players get the same like hype?
Oh, they're not.
As a
They're
as a person just being there, being like, do it, do it, do it.
yeah. Other than that, we also talked about Mario 35 as a fellow Nintendo stan. How are you feeling?
Boy, you can't take my money enough, Mario. Like you know what I mean? The Nintendo itself, it's like I'm gonna get anything you give me, especially with, like I know people are complaining because it's you get Mario 64, you get Mario Sunshine, and you get Mario Galaxy One.
Mm-hmm.
And the two biggest things that I hear people complaining about is that one, they're ports and not remasters, and then two, you don't get Super Mario Galaxy 2. And I'm like, you're getting 64, you're getting Sunshine, like
64 in itself is way worth it for me. Like, give me 64.
I love how you it's like you're Mr. Nintendo. It's like you're getting 64. Like, what more do you want? Like,
dude, I can't tell you how many times I have 64 Mario 64 on the 64.
Yeah,
I have a Nintendo 64 still. I had when we used to live together, Joe. I had Mario 64 on the Wii U when they released it. No matter how many times you released that game, if I still had like a DS, I would have the DS.
I had
Mario
the DS
64.
64. It was amazing, especially because you got to use other characters like Yoshi and Wario. It was
Luigi
so fun.
and Wario. It's so great to see Wario in there, but like, yeah, Wario. Dude, Zelda games, old Mario games, those are the things that they unlock these like peaceful, wholesome memories where I'm like, yeah, I remember just being a kid trying to figure this out, and now it's like so easy now. It seems so easy.
Unless you're playing Super Mario World. That did not get any easier.
Hey, speak for yourself. I know all the codes. I could get you like
you're gonna get the secret key on World 2-3.
Yeah,
you gotta
dude,
get your notebook and start writing them down again.
Like, I remember how much of a like everybody wanted to get the dragon coins,
Yeah,
but they didn't even matter. They honestly don't even matter. And there's
it's
like
just one up.
hidden dragon coin. Yeah, dude, it's such like trash. It's so funny, dude.
So one thing we wanted to talk about, me and Julian were kind of just shooting the crap earlier, and we talked about we start a lot of shows, but we never actually finish a lot of them. Like a couple of mine I can list off. I started to watch Big Bang Theory just because I wanted to see, why it was so big.
I hope you don't finish that show. I pray that you don't.
I really don't want to, but I'm already, I think, in season 9 or 10, and it's been such a struggle to get back on. Like I have not picked it up in a while.
I pray that you gave up like 2 seasons.
Like episode 1, you hear the opening theme and it's like, all right, off.
Bang.
Started with a big bang. All right.
I don't remember it going like that. Oh, it did. Yeah. Okay, never mind. I remember the opening sound.
Dude.
Yeah. Like, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
The whole universe or something.
Pretty much a lot of the shows for me also is a lot of animes. Like I've started 4 or 5 animes that I really enjoyed, but I just don't find the time to get back in and finish them. Like Dr. Stone, Food Wars,
you're missing out. Dude, Dr. Stone is so good.
I love the premise of Dr. Stone. Like it is and the science behind it is so spot on that it makes it so enjoyable. Real. Yeah.
Well, it's like the good thing also about Food Wars is as outlandish as the show seems. Like, I mean, I think you guys already know that one of the creators, 3 producers that's in it. Yeah, like he has a culinary background, so there's some like what's the word I'm looking for? Legitimacy to like
Yeah.
the recipes and like the methods of cooking. Like obviously, no, I can't go in and make this meal, just because I watch the show because I don't have that attention to detail for this stuff.
Yeah.
But
You don't have a shotting gun.
yeah, but it can be done. If you are a skilled enough chef, you can make some of these things. And it's like, damn, like
And a lot of them look good. Like, oh my God, do they look good?
there's a reason why their like clothes blow up afterwards.
That's one of the shows I've been meaning to start.
Sorry, I
But
have, like,
a
charger.
lot of the animes that I've been neglecting are like JoJo. I've tried One Piece like at least 7 times because I hear so many good things about it, but it's just so long.
Yeah.
My newest favorite is Jeremy was actually the one that had turned me on to it, which was the High School of the Dead. And I still have like the last episode queued up, and I don't know why I just don't go back in and finish it. I guess I have this immaculation or whatever, amalgamation, whatever the freaking word is in my head, where it's like if I don't finish it, then it doesn't end.
I
But,
get, I get. I mean, you don't definitely use 2 wrong words.
Yeah,
but,
I did.
But I get what you're talking about. Like sometimes it sucks that like you're going through like a series of any kind of show, whether it be an anime or like a Netflix show or anything. Like there's been plenty of shows where I'm like, man, I hate to lose this feeling.
Yeah.
I hate to lose the story and the characters I've grown to love. Like I don't want to finish.
And a lot of people fall
Sometimes-
into the binge watch. I mean, Netflix made it so easy for people they give you the whole season at once.
Streaming, yeah.
So you binge it and you're left with nothing. And
And then-
I'm one of those people who don't want to binge. I want to kind of take my time to enjoy it. Like you said, you don't want the show to end. But I ultimately I end up falling into the trap anyways. And
Yeah,
in 2 days.
it's so easy.
The trouble with the binge watching thing is like I got so accustomed to like the way that streaming is that I don't like the fact that I have to wait like a week for like a show to come out. But the freedom to be like today I can turn it off 2 episodes in.
Yeah.
But like maybe the next 2 episodes tomorrow, I'm gonna want to watch a third because the way that it ends.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? Like if it's
Yeah.
such a compelling show, you're like, oh, I have to wait a week. Like what is this Neanderthal way of watching TV?
And that like I completely get that, especially because one of the new shows that just came out is the Boys that I've been getting into, and they're doing this new thing, or Amazon's doing this new thing where they just drop like the first 3 episodes, and then every episode after that is gonna be like a week.
Oh
and
yeah.
me and my brother have been watching it, and it's like
HBO started
shit.
doing that too.
yeah, and it's great. It's cool because it does give you that like little barrier, but it also gives you that little binge.
It gives you that anticipation too, that Christmas feeling. You're saying you have to wait a week, and I'm like, oh, I want to see how it ends.
There's a level of TV watching that like has definitely gone missing. Like how scared you got, which is of like I remember watching shows like Sons of Anarchy, and being like completely invested into the drama. And through that, like you would have watch parties every week. Like we're gonna all go show up to this house. We're gonna watch this show.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna be like, oh, what do you think's gonna? We see the next episode preview, and we're like, what do you think's gonna happen? What is this? And like you have a conversation, and that definitely got lost when you could just kind of binge everything.
Yeah.
But I mean, I can't say that I don't get spoiled by the fact that like I said, I can just watch the entire series in like a week.
Are you full behind Team Binge, or would you prefer weekly releases? If you have to choose one side.
Because I'm dealing with the weekly releases now. I would rather just binge. I honestly would. Like I want to get through the feelings, through the emotions, like.
Are you Team Binge, Julian, or weekly release? If you had to choose one for the rest of your streaming life, which one would you choose?
I guess I would have to be Team Binge for the sake of the fact that it's more control, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Isn't that really what it is? Like psychologically, we're all just looking for control.
Yeah, exactly. and like I like the idea of the fact that like, okay, I'm paying for this service. I want to be able to watch things on my time, where back in the day, when in the before Netflix times, you would watch a show like your animes like on Toonami or whatever, and if you were to miss an episode that week, it's like, okay, well, tough luck. Like, huh?
Remember waiting like on Fridays for like new episodes of Teen Titans and everything?
Teen
Oh
Titans,
yeah.
Bleach,
Friday night like cartoons. Like that was
Dude,
the
Friday
hot
was
spot to be.
lit,
Yeah.
yo. The
yeah,
newest Powerpuff Girls and the newest
and
Dexter and everything,
and
yo.
I guess that's also like part of the reason why like I am a little more team binge, because it's like I get to be I forget his name, but I get to be the Toonami guy, and
Tom.
Oh,
I
Tom.
Tom, yeah, is it Tom?
Hmm.
Yeah, it's Tom.
Yeah, I was like, I know it was like Toonami. It was like a play on words with that.
Do you remember how
Tommy.
many like iterations of Tom there were?
There
Yeah.
was
The
so
worst
the my
one was
favorite one.
Do you
Oh,
remember
go.
the first one? I don't know if you guys remember the first one.
He was just like a circle, right? It was like a circle helmet.
He was like a
it,
little short and
He was
chubby, white and blue.
blue.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah. Speaking
but
of
the
Tom, I saw something really cool that recently came out on Adult Swim Toonami that was it's poignant. It's very topical. It was the newest version of Tom on Toonami, and I shared it on my social medias, and it's him talking to like, I guess, laying down the work of the Black Lives Matter movement.
Yeah.
oh, that's
And he's
cool.
like,
Yeah. It
and
is
he's
such
really
a
and
good
he's really
video.
shedding the insight. He's like, you watch these videos, you watch these shows, and it's so you can see heroes grow, and like you don't stand for injustice because you watch these shows, you believe in them that much.
Yeah, and they're
And he
showing
really
clips
gives
of
like
like black anime characters like Killer Bee
mhm.
and one of Killer Bee's assistants in Naruto and things like that. And it
You,
The best part of the message is that he's like, hey, he straight up calls it out, saying like, oh, well, all lives matter, oh, this and that, and like those little distractions that people like to put up. He's like, you're not helping the situation.
yeah.
yeah,
It's the fact like right now, what's the important thing is that the BLM movement is important, and there's a reason why it's important. Don't distract yourself with like, because yes, all lives do matter, but right now that's not the thing that's like hurting. We're not the
No.
ones
yes,
getting injustice.
Yeah.
So it was really cool to see something like that, like really Cartoon Network and Toonami, like they have really good Adult Swim. Like when movements start happening, they are very good about putting their
Standing behind
voice
it. Yeah.
forward.
Hmm.
Yeah, and like really taking a really strong and educated stand on it. And it's I honestly hats off to these guys. I've seen them
yeah,
since like when everything was really choppy back in the day, but I feel like as I grew, they grew too. Like, and it's so cool to see something like that, some sort of like program in one way, shape, or form.
yeah. Like I was literally having this thought the other day because I was watching The Watchmen. That's another show I have yet to finish. I still have like the last episode queued up, and it was cool like thinking about and then obviously like with Chadwick passing sadly,
Oof.
seeing like all these different yeah, it's understandable to recognize him as the biggest one, the most prominent black hero out there, but we do still have a whole bunch of other ones, and I'm grateful for that. Like I was watching Black Lightning the other day while my mom was watching it, and I was like, man, I can't wait to see the point where he meets Static, because I grew up with
Yeah.
Static, and
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
Static
great.
Shock.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's one of the most I don't know, he played like a big part in my upbringing because I was able to kind of witness like black culture and stuff through that cartoon.
Well, speaking on that, our Black Lives Matters stickers did really well, and we thank everybody who bought and supported and donated, and we made a sizable donation amount, right, Julian?
Yes, we're going to donate I I did the math earlier. I believe we're 113.
Yeah.
Yes, sorry. It should be, it's 113. It's going towards the Black Lives Matter movement, because we all here, at 107. I mean, at All of a Sudden and 107
Mhm.
Productions, we really do believe that Black lives do matter, and it might not be like the world's biggest, contribution, but it's
Any
something
little
to help.
thing, yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess to go off on that, not to sound kind of weird, but we finally have like some merch available as
Some
well. So
official merch such as t-shirts, like something bigger than stickers. Yeah.
Hopefully Joe will put it like right here, but there'll be like shirts. We got a coffee mug. Maybe next week you'll see me sipping out of that thing, and we even have masks.
Yeah. So I'll
So
put that in the description down below so you guys can click on it. But that's going to wrap up our show. We're up against it right now. So thank you all for continuing to support, like, comment, subscribe at All of a Sudden Pod on pretty much everything. And Jeremy, thank you for stopping by again. And
No, dude, thank you guys for having me. Love you guys with all my heart. I love everybody.
love you too, man. Stay sunny, guys, and
see you next week.
See you next week.